Hello everyone and welcome to the daily analysis. It's the 15th of November. There wasn't too much happening in the market today, obviously coming to the end of the week, so there wasn't really that much news apart from the US dollar. I think it was at 130. So obviously those pairs were kind of affected, but looking into the end of the week we can see what the weekly closure is, so that's why the Friday analysis are probably better off in the week, so you can get to see the next week forecast sort of thing. So if we look at GBP USD, nothing really too much apart from we had that push from yesterday and it still continued to the upside. Notice how it slowed down though at our weekly support, level 1.2903. So therefore, it is valid as it's tested multiple times in previous history that it's slowed down at this point. So that'll be good use for next week. But looking at the weekly closure, we can see we're just moving sideways, so still consolidating here, no major decision to the upside or downside, but as we can see we are still bullish here, so I still believe that we have the bulls on our side, just catching momentum from this big push from the last 2 weeks. So next week we will probably have a bias more to the upside, but let's just see what happens on the Monday, but we'll go into detail with that and the weekly analysis. Same thing here with the Euro USD, it just obviously pushed to the upside, so eventually coming into our reversal level that we wanted. So we can take that information for next week, and if we have a look at the weekly closure again, as we said last week that we had that notice, we had the notice of the double top on a high time frame, so therefore we are looking to potentially test this level here. See if we can get that to find some resistance before pushing down, but obviously we'll look into that next week in the analysis videos. So ending on the week that we had that push, so no real move that we could get into, but the ultimate move was from last week prior to this impulse move to the downside. So well done if you took that push to the downside and held on till this week. Obviously an exit would be great because obviously we've got impulse moves to the upside now, so there probably is a shift in change in direction, but obviously we'll look into that. So USD JPY made that break of the down or uptrend that we found, but then slowly retraced today. So potentially this is a rejection of this level, support level here. Also you can see that we've got our daily level here, so rejection of that candle, potentially coming back up, but obviously we'll see where that heads. So well done if you've captured that move from the downside to the from the reversal level here and watched it push all the way down. So that would have been a safe bet to get out of here, because obviously it's indecision. You don't know if it's going to push up further or continue to break down. So I always say exit at around, or just wait and anticipate what will happen at the edge of a trend line, just because purely sometimes it can go down and quickly reverse back up, but it's always good to kind of stay vigilant around these areas, as there is a lot of manipulation around there, and retail traders start to push the market in one direction thinking it's going in that way, but the banks obviously have another idea. So it's always good to kind of stay vigilant around them areas, and if it comes to it, you might as well just take out of the trade, and there's always a possibility of re-entering the market, so you don't always have to suffer your profits to make an even bigger one. So just keep that in mind. With gold, we see that we've had that push to the upside, slowly retraced back into the reversal area. There was a second opportunity to come back in, evening star reversal here, as we can see. So there was a potential to get back in, but not really convinced on the direction as of yet, if I'm being honest. We've got a nice double head and shoulders here. on a 4-hour time frame, but let's check out the weekly. We can see that we've almost closed two below, so I do believe we got some ground to cover back up this empty area here before we possibly shoot further down. So just keep that in mind, but obviously we'll go in further depth on the weekly videos, analysis videos that we put out on the weekend. So yeah, that will be all from this week. Thank you very much if you've been watching all through this first week. Just trying something new, different here on the channel. Hopefully it benefits yourself. But like I said, if it does help you out at all, make sure you just go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, for future analysis videos. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.